Lu Ming's gaze swept across the area, and he saw several figures appearing at the side. He saw Dijiani, Su Wuya, Qian Shengxian, and the others appear with their subordinates. These people all suffered losses. Some lost 2 or 3 people, while others lost 7 or 8 people. Lu Ming even saw a young man with only 10 or so people standing next to him. It was obvious that he had encountered a crisis and suffered heavy losses. Of course, Lu Quan and the other supreme talent under the Crown Prince had also suffered heavy losses. At this time, the others also noticed Lu Quan and the young man, and they were all shocked. Lu Quan and Mu Yuan actually suffered such heavy losses. The experts they brought were all the Crown Prince's elites. Not only were they peak divine kings, but they were also experts among peak divine kings. The 2 of them actually lost more than half of their forces. Who has the strength to kill them? They probably encountered a divine Lord Realm monster. That's the only possibility. Some people were discussing, thinking that Lu Quan and Mu Yuan were unlucky to have encountered a divine Lord Realm monster. That was why they suffered such heavy losses. However, no one looked at Wan Shun. This was because before they came out, Lu Ming had given Wan Shun a set of black robes so that he wouldn't be recognized. After all, Wan Shun had shown his terrifying strength when he chased some people away, and it wouldn't be good if he was recognized. Immediately, a few elders led Lu Ming and the others away from the entrance of the broken universe. After leaving this place, Lu Ming led the members of the Nether Ape Fighting tribe back to the courtyard where Lan Shang was staying. He also got Wan Shun to settle down there. After that, Lu Ming returned to the Great Void Imperial Academy. Let's go and report to the Crown Prince. Lu Quan and Mu Yuan led their men back to the Crown Prince's residence. Not long after, in a large hall in the Crown Prince's residence, Lu Quan and Mu Yuan knelt in fear. The Crown Prince sat above them. At this time, the Crown Prince's body emitted a terrifying aura that suppressed Lu Quan and Mu Yuan until they couldn't breathe. 2 pieces of trash. After a while, the Crown Prince spoke, his voice cold. Lu Quan and Mu Yuan both shuddered and broke out in cold sweat. They didn't dare to speak. Lu Ming, how dare you touch my people? Very well, I will kill you with my own hands, the Crown Prince said ferociously. He suddenly stood up and was about to charge into the Great Void Imperial Academy to kill Lu Ming with his own hands. Crown Prince, you can't. At this time, an elder stepped forward and bowed. The Crown Prince's eyes flashed as he looked at the elder. The elder's name was Han Fengye. He was powerful and resourceful. Crown Prince, Lu Ming is just a new student of the Great Void Imperial Academy. If the Crown Prince kills him personally, it will damage the Crown Prince's reputation. If the second prince uses this opportunity to accuse you of abusing your power and killing the innocent, it will be bad, Han Fengye said. The Crown Prince frowned slightly. He knew that Han Fengye was right. As the Crown Prince, if he personally dealt with a junior, it would cause gossip, especially from the second prince. In the Taishu dynasty, the only one who could go against the Crown Prince was the second prince. In the eyes of the people of the Taishu dynasty, the second prince was superior to the Crown Prince in terms of talent and intelligence. Therefore, the second prince had gathered a large number of powerful subordinates. Even the Crown Prince had to be careful. What you said makes sense. How about this, Han Fengye? You go and bring Lu Ming here and execute him. The Crown Prince waved his hand casually as if he had sentenced Lu Ming to death. Yes. Han Fengye accepted the order and then looked at Lu Quan and Mu Yuan. You two, come with me. Yes, yes. Lu Quan and Mu Yuan heaved a sigh of relief and quickly followed Han Fengye. Lu Ming returned to the Great Void Imperial Academy and saw Qiu Yu. When Qiu Yu saw that Lu Ming was fine, she was naturally as happy as a little bird. The 2 of them cuddled for a while and then discussed their plans to leave the Great Void Imperial Academy and find Blue Merchant to discuss the establishment of a family. Boom. At this time, a terrifying aura came from outside. A huge pressure like a mountain pressed down on the palace where Lu Ming and the others were staying. Rumble. Their palace began to shake violently. Powerful runes appeared all around the palace, forming a light shield that enveloped the palace. Chapter 33:30. Lu Ming and Qiu Autumn Moon were in the top 10 during the Taishu Imperial Court's opening ceremony. The palace they lived in was of the highest quality and was protected by a powerful formation. Now that it was under pressure, the formation automatically defended itself. Who's there? Lu Ming and Qiu Autumn Moon's expressions changed. This was the Taishu Imperial Court. Who would be so bold as to attack them in their palace? Lu Ming, get out here. A loud shout was heard. Lu Quan. Lu Ming could tell that it was Lu Quan's voice. It seems like the Crown Prince's people are here to punish us. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. The pressure was too strong. It was definitely not from Lu Quan. It should be another expert from the Crown Prince's residence. At this moment, the commotion had alerted the other students. Many of them flew out of their residences and looked in the direction of the commotion, curious expressions on their faces. What a terrifying expert. Who is that? How dare he act so arrogantly here? Some students looked at Lu Quan, Mu Yuan, and Han Fengyi with curiosity. That aura was naturally emitted by Han Fengyi. It was as deep as the sea, terrifying to the extreme. That's someone from the Crown Prince's residence. And that old man seems to be the Crown Prince's confidant. No wonder the elders of the Taishu Imperial Court disappeared. They didn't make a move. Many people were discussing. The Crown Prince's power was not to be underestimated. The current Sage Emperor had ruled the Taishu dynasty for countless years. It was said that the Sage Emperor's lifespan was running out. Once the Sage Emperor fell, the Crown Prince would inherit the throne. This showed how powerful his power was. Let's go out and take a look. Lu Ming and Qiu Autumn Moon left the palace, but they did not leave the protection of the formation. The formation was like a sphere, enveloping the palace. As soon as they went out, they saw Lu Quan, Mu Yuan, and Han Fengyi. Lu Ming, you're finally out. Lu Quan revealed a murderous intent when he saw Lu Ming. Lu Quan, why did you come here and disturb my cultivation? Lu Ming asked. Lu Ming, come with me to the Crown Prince's residence. Cold Breeze Knight said. So you're going to the Crown Prince's residence. I'm sorry, but I'm going into seclusion to cultivate. I'm afraid I won't be free for a while. Lu Ming smiled faintly. No time? Lu Ming, the Crown Prince wants to see you. Lu Quan stared at Lu Ming. The Crown Prince wants to see me? What is it? Just say it. Lu Ming said. If he went to the Crown Prince's residence, his life and death would be beyond his control. How could Lu Ming go there? Nonsense. Why would the Crown Prince need a reason to see you? Hurry up and come with us. Mu Yuan shouted. I have a bad temper. If I don't know what's going on, I won't go even if you beat me to death. If you want to use the power of the Crown Prince's residence to attack me for no reason, then I have nothing to say. Lu Ming said indifferently. He had a stubborn look on his face. He even vaguely pointed out that the Crown Prince's residence shouldn't bully others. You, Lu Quan and Mu Yuan were trembling with anger. In that case, this old man will say it directly. When you entered the Broken Universe, you killed 36 Peak Divine King, experts of the Crown Prince's residence. This is a heinous crime. You must be punished. Come with this old man to the Crown Prince's residence and receive your punishment. Han Fengyi said coldly. As soon as these words came out, many people were shocked. This time, 36 Peak Divine Kings of the Crown Prince's residence had died in the Broken Universe. This was definitely a huge loss. No wonder the Crown Prince's residence came to arrest them. Ha ha ha. So it's because of this matter. I'm sorry, this matter has nothing to do with me. You can go back now. Lu Ming laughed. It has nothing to do with you. Nonsense. You're the one who killed them. Lu Quan shouted angrily. I killed them? Lu Quan, you must have evidence before you speak. Let me ask you, did I kill your people, or did the people I brought kill them? Lu Ming questioned loudly. Although you didn't kill them, they died because of you, Lu Quan said angrily. Died because of us? Ha ha. Did we set up a formation to kill you? Or what? From the beginning to the end, we didn't even lift a finger. Your people were killed by the monsters in the Broken Universe. What does it have to do with me? Lu Ming said loudly. You're lying. Those monsters were lured here by you. You deliberately lured them to us. Lu Quan roared with an ugly expression. Ha ha ha. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I lured them here. What a joke. Lu Ming laughed and said, when we first met, you brought a group of people to surround me and wanted to kill me. Then, you were inexplicably attacked by the monsters. How can you blame this on me? Ridiculous. You, Lu Quan and Mu Yuan's faces flushed red. They didn't know how to answer him. The situation at that time was indeed as Lu Ming said. They were the ones who wanted to kill Lu Ming. When they first saw Lu Ming, they brought people to surround Lu Ming and his group. That was why they were besieged. We stood there and didn't move. You rushed up to kill me. You were unlucky to be surrounded by the monsters. You want to blame this on me? Haha, then I have nothing to say. Lu Ming said indifferently. Lu Quan and Mu Yuan almost vomited blood. Han Fengye's face was also gloomy. He said coldly, you have a glib tongue. Who knows if what you said is true or false? If you have anything to say it in the Crown Prince's palace. Boom. As soon as his voice fell, Han Fengye didn't talk nonsense and directly attacked. With a wave of his hand, a huge claw grabbed at Lu Ming. The claw grabbed the light shield formed by the formation, causing a violent fluctuation. The whole palace shook violently. The formation of the palace was extremely mysterious. However, Han Fengye's strength was too strong and unfathomable. This formation might not be able to stop him. Lu Ming's face turned gloomy. He didn't expect the Crown Prince's palace to be so overbearing. They didn't even bother to argue with him. Open! Han Fengye shouted coldly as he continued to activate his strength. The formation shook continuously. If this continued, it wouldn't be long before the formation was broken. In the void far away, there were many experts from the Great Void Imperial family watching. However, since the Crown Prince's palace was involved, they couldn't interfere. In the Great Void Imperial family, not many people dared to offend the Crown Prince. Just as the formation was shaking more and more violently, a ray of divine light flew over from the distance and struck the hand that Han Fengye had condensed. With a boom, the hand that Han Fengye had condensed was directly destroyed. Who is it? How dare you? Han Fengye shouted coldly as killing intent flashed in his eyes. Someone actually dared to stop him. Did they not want to live anymore? However, in the next moment, his pupils shrank and he revealed a look of fear. In the distance, a group of people was approaching. The man in the lead had a dignified appearance. He was the second prince. Han Fengye, I think you're the one with the guts. The second prince said coldly. Han Fengye's face turned ugly. In the Taishu dynasty, the second prince was one of the few who dared to go against the crown prince. He also had the ability to do so. Chapter 33-31. Second prince, what do you mean by that? Han Fengye asked with an ugly expression. What do I mean? This is the holy courtyard of the Great Void Imperial family. How dare you come here to arrest someone? Who gave you the courage? Is it my elder brother? The second prince said indifferently. Second prince, this man has killed dozens of experts from the crown prince's residence. He has committed a heinous crime. I'm taking him back to the crown prince's residence for investigation. Han Fengye said. I've said it before. I didn't kill the people from the crown prince's residence. It has nothing to do with me. If the crown prince's residence wants to convict me, I have nothing to say. Lu Ming interrupted. Shut up, brat. Han Fengye shouted coldly. Hee, can't you even defend yourself? Could it be that the crown prince's residence really is able to cover the sky with one hand, and has even greater authority than the sage emperor? Lu Ming sneered. He knew the relationship between the second prince and the crown prince. That was why he said that in front of the second prince. Han Fengye's expression changed drastically. The crown prince wouldn't care if he said that in front of other people. However, it would be a big deal if he said that in front of the second prince. The second prince would use it to attack the crown prince. I have a rough idea of what happened. However, Lu Ming, why don't you tell me in detail what happened? The second prince said. Okay. Lu Ming nodded and immediately told the second prince about what happened in the broken universe. Of course, he wouldn't say that the heavenly human tribe was chasing after him. He only said that he didn't know that they were nearby. Oh, so Lu Quan and Mu Yuan wanted to kill you, but they were unlucky. So many experts were killed by the monsters. The second prince said, "Yes, that's right. I was lucky and they were unlucky. How can you blame me for that? I'm speechless." Lu Ming gave a long sigh, looking as if he had been greatly wronged. You're talking nonsense. You must have known that the monsters were around. I guess those monsters wanted to kill you. You deliberately killed us." Lu Quan shouted. "Evidence? Where's the evidence? You need evidence." Lu Ming said indifferently. Lu Quan and Mu Yuan were about to vomit blood. How could they have any evidence? Let's take a step back and assume that I already knew about those monsters, but at that time, you were the ones who wanted to kill me. What you're saying is that all of you wanted to kill me, and I should have warned you that there were monsters here and not come over, right? Lu Ming spoke nonchalantly, his tone full of sarcasm. Lu Quan and Mu Yuan trembled with anger. However, they could not refute Lu Ming's words. "Tell Big Brother." The second prince waved his hand. However, he didn't have any evidence, so he could only retreat. Otherwise, the second prince would be able to use it against the crown prince. He did not expect that the second prince would suddenly appear. If not for the second prince, he could not be bothered with what Lu Ming said. He would just capture him directly. "Farewell," Han Fengyi said coldly. In the end, he took Lu Quan and Mu Yuan and left with their tails between their legs. "Lu Ming thanks second prince for your help." Lu Ming stepped out and clasped his fists at the second prince. "You're welcome. I heard someone reporting and rushed over. It's good that you're fine." The second prince smiled. It was very gentle and gave people the feeling of a spring breeze. Lu Ming knew that the second prince was trying to win people's hearts. Obviously, the second prince had taken a fancy to Lu Ming's talent. "No matter what, I still have to thank second prince for your help," Lu Ming said. "Haha, if you really want to thank me, you can come to my place more often. Who knows, I might need your help in the future." The second prince smiled. Lu Ming will definitely return today's favor to second prince. Lu Ming said in a tone that was neither humble nor overbearing. Rumble. Just at this moment, a loud rumbling sound came from afar. A terrifying aura spread out from afar, as if a giant beast was charging over. The entire place fell into a heavy silence. How terrifying! Many people turned pale and trembled. They almost knelt down. The aura was too terrifying. It was unimaginably powerful. The entire Taishu Imperial Sacred Courtyard was shrouded in it. Even the second prince's face turned solemn as he looked in that direction. In the next moment, a figure appeared in that direction. The state preceptor. Many people were shocked. That figure was the state preceptor. The aura came from the state preceptor. Many people were relieved. The state preceptor was the pinnacle of the Taishu dynasty. It was normal for him to have such a terrifying aura. However, why did the state preceptor suddenly come to the Taishu Imperial Sacred Courtyard with a strong murderous intent? Many people were puzzled. This guy, Lu Ming's pupils shrank. He had a feeling that the state preceptor was coming for him. As expected, the state preceptor saw Lu Ming as soon as he arrived. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. However, when he saw the second prince beside Lu Ming, his pupils shrank. He was surprised that the second prince was here. The state preceptor was very fast. In the next moment, he was in front of them. "State preceptor, what are you doing? You are the state preceptor. How can you rush into the Taishu Imperial Sacred Courtyard with murderous intent?" The second prince said coldly. "Second prince, I'm here to avenge my son, Wu Fan," the state preceptor said. His face was ferocious and filled with murderous intent. These words caused the hearts of the people present to tremble even more. "What? Wu Fan is dead? How is that possible? I heard that Wu Fan entered the broken universe but didn't come out. Not only that, no one from the state preceptor's residence came out. How could such a thing happen? Who is so bold as to kill Wu Fan?" The scene was in an uproar. The second prince's eyes also moved. He was surprised and asked, "State preceptor, who killed Wu Fan?" "It's him, Lu Ming." The state preceptor looked at Lu Ming. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. "It's him again." Many people were tongue-tied, and they looked at Lu Ming in unison. First, it was the people from the crown prince's residence. Now, it was the state preceptor. What did Lu Ming do in the broken universe? I didn't kill Wu Fan. Lu Ming answered calmly. If it's not you, then who is it? The state preceptor said. State preceptor, you said that I killed Wu Fan. Do you have evidence, witnesses, or material evidence? Lu Ming said. He had already taken care of this matter. No one would know that he killed Wu Fan. The state preceptor was completely guessing. There's no need for evidence. You killed him. How dare you kill my son? You must die. The state preceptor roared. His murderous intent was extremely strong. The higher the cultivation, the harder it was to have children. With the state preceptor's cultivation, it was rare for him to have Wu Fan. Now that Wu Fan was killed, he was going crazy. Chapter 33-32. You don't have any evidence and yet you say that I killed him. The Grand Preceptor is indeed powerful and can convict people as he pleases. Lu Ming shouted coldly. Whether you killed him or not, we will know once we take you down and search your soul. The Grand Preceptor's voice was cold. He took a step forward and his overwhelming aura pressed down on Lu Ming. At this moment, an old man beside the second prince stepped forward and shouted. He released a powerful aura to resist the Grand Preceptor's aura. Terrifying explosions sounded. The old man beside the second prince trembled violently and retreated continuously. He was obviously no match for the Grand Preceptor. Second prince, this man killed my son, Wu Fan. He must die. Don't force me to fight with you. The Grand Preceptor's hair and beard fluttered. He was extremely violent and had truly gone mad. Although he didn't have any evidence, he was 80% sure that Wu Fan was killed by Lu Ming. This was because he knew that Wu Fan wanted to kill Lu Ming in the broken universe. Now that Lu Ming was alive and well, Wu Fan was dead. If it wasn't Lu Ming who killed him, who else could it be? The second prince frowned. The Grand Preceptor's current state was extremely unstable. If he interfered, the Grand Preceptor might really fight with him. Although he valued Lu Ming and wanted to rope in Lu Ming, it was obviously not worth it to fight the Grand Preceptor head-on because of Lu Ming. The second prince gave his subordinates a look and they retreated silently. Little bastard, die. The Grand Preceptor stared at Lu Ming with bloodshot eyes. He roared and charged towards Lu Ming. Damn it! Lu Ming roared in his heart. He had underestimated the overbearingness of the upper echelons of the Taishu dynasty. He didn't expect them to want to kill him without any evidence. In the face of such a person, he didn't have the strength to fight back. His body couldn't move at all. Young master, Autumn Moon cried out in alarm. She was incomparably anxious. She wanted to help, but her body could not move. It was simply impossible. When it seemed like Lu Ming was about to die at the hands of the state preceptor, the space before Lu Ming suddenly fluctuated, and then a white-haired old man suddenly appeared. The old man waved his hand, and a divine light burst forth, breaking the imperial advisor's attack. Lu Ming's body became light, and he immediately regained his freedom. Old Heavenly King. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. This figure that suddenly appeared was Thousand Saint Old Heavenly King. It's Old Heavenly King Qiansheng. The others also exclaimed in surprise. The Imperial Master's face hardened. He stared at Holy Thousand Heavenly King and said, Holy Thousand Heavenly King, this has nothing to do with you. I find this little fellow pleasing to the eye. How is it none of my business? Thousand Saint Old Heavenly King said indifferently. He killed my son, Wu Fan. No matter who he is, he must die. The Imperial Preceptor roared with a violent aura. If you want to condemn someone, you can always find a pretext. You just want to find someone to accompany Wu Fan to the grave. Lu Ming shouted. Whether you killed him or not, I will know after I search your soul. The Imperial Preceptor said coldly. Without wasting any time, he charged towards Lu Ming. A terrifying attack erupted, and the entire Great Void Imperial Family Holy Courtyard shook continuously, as if it was about to explode. Not only that, the aura spread out and filled the entire Great Void Imperial City. Countless experts in the Great Void Imperial City felt as if there was a huge rock pressing down on them. This old man hasn't fought for a long time. Today, I will see what the state preceptor is capable of. the old heavenly king said as he stepped out, and a terrifying aura rushed out from his body. The aura of the two continued to clash, and the pressure on the scene became even more terrifying. Activate the array. A loud shout came from the Great Void Imperial Family Holy Courtyard. The experts of the Great Void Imperial Family Holy Courtyard were alarmed. Many terrifying experts appeared and activated the array. Countless runes appeared in the Great Void Imperial Family Holy Courtyard, and the entire Great Void Imperial Family Holy Courtyard was shrouded in it. They were afraid that the two terrifying existences would destroy the Great Void Imperial Family Holy Courtyard. Swoosh, swoosh. Suddenly, the Imperial Preceptor and the old Heavenly King shot up into the sky and into the starry sky of the universe, and a huge battle broke out. Although the Imperial Preceptor was furious, he had not lost his mind. With their cultivation, if they were to fight in the Great Void Imperial City, it would be devastating. He would not be able to bear the consequences. Therefore, they rushed into the starry sky to fight. Boom! In the starry sky, there was a terrifying explosion, and a heavy pressure pressed down on everyone in the Great Void Imperial City. Then, in the starry sky, it was as if a planet had exploded, and a bright light shone. Boom! 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 Then, more and more bright lights appeared, and it was as if many planets had exploded in the sky, filling the starry sky. This was the battle between the Imperial Preceptor and the old Heavenly King. It was terrifying. Lu Ming raised his head, but he could not see the trajectory of the battle at all. He could only see bright lights shining one after another. Only a few people could see the trajectory of the battle, such as the second prince, an old man beside him, and some elders of the Great Void Imperial Family Holy Courtyard. There were also some terrifying experts who were cultivating in seclusion in the Great Void Imperial City. These people raised their heads to watch, and their faces were solemn. A battle of this level was not something that could be easily seen. In the starry sky, the entire starry sky was trembling like water waves. The planets further away were swept by the terrifying shock waves and exploded. The two of them fought for a long time, and the starry sky suddenly quietened down. In the next moment, a figure appeared in front of Lu Ming. It was the old Heavenly King. Lu Ming quickly looked over and saw that the old Heavenly King's face was ruddy, and his aura was stable. He was fine. In the next moment, the Imperial Preceptor's figure appeared not far away. However, the Imperial Preceptor's condition was much worse. His face was pale, and his body was trembling slightly. There was a trace of blood at the corner of his mouth. It was obvious that the Imperial Preceptor had lost. He was no match for the old Heavenly King. Please go back. The old Heavenly King waved his hand. The revenge of my son's death is irreconcilable, the Imperial Preceptor said coldly. He was still filled with killing intent and did not want to let Lu Ming go. I've said that I didn't kill Wu Fan. If you have evidence, take it out. Otherwise, I'll report you to the Sacred Emperor for abusing your power for personal gain, abusing your authority, and bullying the weak. Lu Ming shouted. He was also angry. I'll search your soul and you'll know. The Imperial Preceptor still wanted to search his soul. What the F***CK? You want to search the soul of whoever you suspect? If I suspect that you've emptied the treasury and colluded with the barbarian race, I'll search your soul too. Are you willing to do that? Lu Ming shouted. How dare you slander me? The Imperial Preceptor was furious. He wanted to slap Lu Ming to death. Of course, he couldn't do it with the old Heavenly King around. I think Lu Ming is right. If you want to search his soul without evidence, he can search yours. Why don't you two exchange? I have no objections. The old Heavenly King said. You. The Imperial Preceptor's eyes flashed fiercely. However, he definitely couldn't let his soul be searched. He was the only one who knew how many evil deeds he had committed in secret to get to where he was now. Wouldn't everything be exposed if his soul was searched? Dragon Emperor Wan Dao. Dragon Emperor Wan Dao. Chapter 33:33. The Imperial Tutor's face darkened. He knew that with holy old Heavenly King here, it would be hard to touch Lu Ming. Moreover, after the battle with holy old Heavenly King, the imperial tutor had calmed down. Previously, when he heard that Wu Fan had not come out, he took out Wu Fan's life spirit token and found out that Wu Fan had died. He was instantly enraged and lost his head in anger. Actually, with his status as the imperial tutor, it was extremely unwise for him to barge into the Great Void imperial family's holy court to kill a genius disciple. Because in the broken universe, killing each other was a common thing. Even if Wu Fan was killed by Lu Ming, it would be normal. He could only blame himself for not being skilled enough. Moreover, he did not have evidence to prove that Wu Fan was killed by Lu Ming. It was purely a guess. In this case, his opponents would definitely use this matter to attack him and impeach him in front of the Saint Emperor. Moreover, the second prince was present at the scene. The impeachment was definitely going to happen. As the imperial tutor, he had barged into the Great Void imperial family's holy court like a mad wild beast. He wanted to kill someone without any evidence in front of countless people. This was a huge taboo. If the upper echelons of the Taishu dynasty did this, who would dare to work for the Taishu dynasty? After the imperial tutor calmed down and thought of the consequences, he finally wanted to retreat. Lu Ming, did my son, Wu Fan, die in your hands? I will investigate this matter sooner or later. Let's wait and see. The imperial tutor said coldly and then slowly retreated. State Preceptor, I will personally meet with His Majesty the Sage Emperor regarding this matter. I would like to ask His Majesty the Sage Emperor if he is the State Preceptor. Can he do as he pleases? Holy Old Heavenly King said. The imperial tutor's face darkened. He snorted and retreated. Lu Ming secretly heaved a sigh of relief. This time, it was really dangerous. If not for Holy Old Heavenly King, he would really be in danger. He would have been crushed to death by the imperial tutor. Lu Ming, thank you again. Holy Old Heavenly King. Lu Ming cupped his fists and thanked Holy Old Heavenly King solemnly. Holy Old Heavenly King had already helped him twice, so he was extremely grateful to him. Lu Ming, I will immediately meet with His Majesty the Sage Emperor and impeach the Imperial Preceptor. After this incident, the Imperial Preceptor probably won't dare to personally deal with you, but he definitely won't give up. He will secretly send people to deal with you. You must be careful. Old Heavenly King Thousand Saints warned. Thank you, Senior. Lu Ming will be careful. Lu Ming nodded. Second Prince, why don't you accompany me to the Imperial Palace? Then, Thousand Saints Old Heavenly King looked at the second prince. How could I not accept the invitation of the Old Heavenly King? Old Heavenly King, please. The second prince smiled. The State Preceptor was the Crown Prince's right-hand man. Impeaching the State Preceptor and attacking him was exactly what he wanted. How could he not go? Furthermore, with Old Heavenly King Thousand Saints with him, he couldn't wait. Holy Old Heavenly King and Second Prince immediately left for the Imperial Palace. Young Master, are you all right? Autumn Moon flew over and looked at Lu Ming worriedly. I'm fine. Let's leave this place first, Lu Ming said. Now that he had the primordial deity statue, he didn't want to stay in the Taishu Imperial Sacred Academy. After today's incident, he understood that it was usually very safe to stay in the Taishu Imperial family's sacred courtyard. However, the Taishu Imperial family's sacred courtyard wouldn't give him any protection when facing the top figures of the Taishu sacred dynasty. It was better to stay in Blue Merchant's residence. At least there were elites of the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe there. If he encountered danger, the elites of the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe would definitely fight to the death. Moreover, now that he could start his own family, he wanted to ask Blue Merchant about the specific plan of starting his family. Lu Ming and Autumn Moon immediately left the Taishu Imperial Sacred Academy and returned to Blue Merchant's residence. After returning, Lu Ming went to Blue Merchant to ask about the matter of starting a family and how to choose the location. Choosing the location of the family was also very important. It would affect the future development. Of course, we have to choose a place with potential, Blue Merchant said. Then, he took out a jade talisman. The jade talisman glowed, and a starry sky pattern appeared in the air. The pattern was densely packed with tiny dots of light. Those dots of light were the famous planets of life. They were very small. If Lu Ming's eyes were sharp, most people wouldn't be able to see them. Many light spots formed galaxies. Hundreds and thousands of galaxies then formed star fields. This is the map of the Taishu dynasty's territory, Blue Merchant said. Sure enough, Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. The Taishu dynasty's territory was really vast. The Taishu dynasty's territory is mainly divided into two parts. The most central part is controlled by the Taishu dynasty's royal family. It's the largest part. Blue Merchant reached out his hand and drew a circle in the air. A circle of light circled the center of the territory. The center of the circle took up about half of the entire map. These were all the territories controlled by the Taishu dynasty's royal family. Other than the central region, the surrounding regions are the territories of the various mansions of the Taishu Holy Dynasty. The residence of the soldiers, residence of the general, residence of the marquis, residence of the heavenly kings, residents of the great and small mansions occupy the outer regions. Moreover, the various major families have been fighting and killing each other. The Taishu Holy Dynasty has always turned a blind eye to this. Now, the outer regions have been taken over by the various major families. It will be difficult to establish a family here and develop quickly. Blue Merchant said. Then where should we choose? Lu Ming asked. Here. Lan Shang pointed to the west, at the outermost region of the territory. The west side of the Taishu dynasty is close to the barbarian tribe. They have been fighting with the barbarian tribe all year round. This area is the most chaotic, especially the border with the barbarian tribe. There are many star regions that are extremely chaotic. Interstellar pirates run amok. Big and small forces fight and kill each other. Neither the Taishu dynasty nor the barbarian tribe can fully control this area. It's the easiest area to establish a family and develop. Furthermore, according to the rules of the Taishu Sacred Court, the first mansion to be established is the lowest level of Soldier's Mansion. If you want to be promoted, you can only earn merits. Killing space pirates and killing barbarians can earn merits. The more merits you earn, the more planets you can control, more territories you can take in, and more experts you can recruit. Blue Merchant said. Okay, we'll choose this area. Lu Ming nodded and made his decision. The more chaotic the place was, the more opportunities there were. Choosing a relatively stable place with a relatively stable force would make it difficult for them to develop. After that, Lu Ming and Blue Merchant continued to discuss the details of establishing a family and family. After a full day of discussion, all the details were put in place. The next day, Lu Ming and Blue Merchant went to the Grand Council. To establish a family and family, one must first be reviewed and supervised by the Grand Council. Lu Ming had the token given by the Sacred Emperor, so he easily passed the review. Myriad Dao Dragon Emperor. Chapter 33-34. After easily passing the review, Lu Ming received a large rest image stone. This rest image stone was used to record one's contributions. For example, when Lu Ming brought people to kill interstellar pirates, he had to use this rest image stone to record it and submit it to the Grand Council. After the review, he would be rewarded accordingly. It was the same for hunting the barbarian tribe. The amount of contributions would be recorded by the rest image stone and could not be faked. After everything was settled, Lu Ming and Blue Merchant returned to their residence. Without any hesitation, they set off with Autumn Moon, Lan Ling, and the elites of the Nether Ape fighting tribe. They set off secretly and no one else noticed. The distance between the Taishu sacred capital and the western frontier was too far. However, the Taishu sacred capital was connected by a wormhole. Using the wormhole, they arrived at the western frontier in a short time. Our target is the Heavenly Chaos Starfield, a starfield at the border between the Taishu dynasty and the barbarian tribe. First, we need to find a planet with life to settle down as the foundation of our tribe. Blue Merchant said. He took out a map and looked at it. This was a map of the Heavenly Chaos Starfield. It was very detailed and even marked out the major and minor galaxies, as well as some of the stronger forces. Lu Ming sighed in his heart. Fortunately, he had Blue Merchant's help. Blue Merchant had already made some plans before this. If it were him, he would have been confused. Then, Blue Merchant pointed at one of the planets and zoomed in quickly. This planet is called the Hidden Dragon Planet. It is occupied by a group of interstellar pirates. The environment on this planet is very good and the divine qi is rich. It is a good place for cultivation and is most suitable for the early stage. Lu Ming, what do you think? Blue Merchant asked Lu Ming. Hidden Dragon Planet, what a good name. Let's go with this planet. Lu Ming said with a smile. All right, let's go. Blue Merchant said. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. They turned into streaks of light and flew toward the Heaven Chaos Starfield. Lan Ling's cultivation was the weakest in the group, so she was carried by Blue Merchant. The others flew toward the Heaven Chaos Starfield at an astonishing speed. After flying past many planets, more than 10 days later, a huge planet appeared in front of Lu Ming and the rest. This planet was the Hidden Dragon Star. It's a pity that such a good planet was taken over by a bunch of interstellar pirates. From now on, you'll be famous in the hands of Lu Ming. Lu Ming smiled. He took the lead and flew toward the Hidden Dragon Star. Blue Merchant and the others followed closely behind. Who are you? Stop. At this moment, a loud shout rang out, and a group of people appeared, blocking Lu Ming's path. This group of people all had ferocious faces, and they were divided into 7 or 8 different races. They all stared at Lu Ming and the others with murderous intent. Who are you? Why are you sneaking around the Hidden Dragon Star? One of the brawny men holding a large saber said. He stared at Lu Ming with murderous intent and waved his saber. Who are we? It doesn't matter if I tell you. We're from the Taishu dynasty. We're here to annihilate you. Lu Ming said with a smile. What? The brawny man in the black robe and the others obviously didn't expect Lu Ming to tell them his purpose directly. They were stunned for a moment, then they roared. The Taishu dynasty is here. Send a message to the commander. Immediately, someone took out a jade talisman and began to send a message. Someone else took out a jade talisman to send a signal to inform the other interstellar pirates. Suddenly, the entire Hidden Dragon Star began to move. Huge interstellar battleships flew out and rushed toward them. Lu Ming and the others didn't move at all. They just watched the other party send a message. It would be easier to solve the problem if the other party sent a message together. All right, I can take care of you now, Lu Ming said indifferently. Then, a huge breathing shadow stone flew out and floated above Lu Ming's head. These interstellar pirates were also meritorious. Of course, he had to record them. He couldn't let them go to waste. Then, Lu Ming stepped forward and walked forward. Kid, you're courting death. Brothers, kill them. The brawny man in the lead shouted angrily. He waved his large saber and charged toward Lu Ming. This brawny man was in the 4th layer of the King God realm. He wasn't weak. The other interstellar pirates were in the 1st layer of the King God realm to the 4th layer of the King God realm. The weakest one was a half-step King God realm. Bang! Lu Ming took a step forward. The void shook violently. Then, dragon roars resounded in the sky. In an instant, dozens of 9-clawed dragons flew out and pounced on the interstellar pirates. Oh no! The brawny man in the lead turned pale. He turned around and wanted to escape, but it was too late. A 9-clawed dragon caught up with him. The dragon claw tore the brawny man into pieces, and he died on the spot. The other interstellar pirates were even weaker. They couldn't resist and were killed one by one. Go. Kill them, Lu Ming said. They pounced toward the Hidden Dragon Star. Bastards of the Taishu dynasty, how dare you make trouble on the Hidden Dragon Star? Kill them all. There were at least a dozen huge interstellar battleships. Each of them was 1,000 miles long. They were incomparably huge. They crashed toward Lu Ming and the others. A loud roar came from the middle battleship. Good timing. Leave the middle battleship to me. You can do whatever you want with the rest, Lu Ming said to the Nether Ape battle tribe. After that, Lu Ming rushed toward the middle battleship. He used the heavenly demon golden body and punched it. Kill him. A loud roar came from the battleship. Then, runes appeared on the battleship. Following that, a beam of light flew out from the front of the battleship and blasted toward Lu Ming. This kind of interstellar battleship not only had the ability to fly quickly and carry people, but it could also launch attacks. It was very powerful. Lu Ming punched the beam of light. The beam of light could not withstand a single blow from Lu Ming and was shattered. Boom. In the end, Lu Ming punched the front of the battleship. The entire battleship shook violently and kept exploding. Debris flew everywhere. The front of the battleship exploded. Then, the terrifying force of the punch spread to the entire battleship. Cracks appeared on the battleship. In the end, the entire battleship disintegrated. The scene of a 1,000-mile-long battleship exploding with a punch was extremely shocking. The battleship shattered, and a few thousand people flew out of it. "Oh no, retreat," someone shouted. To be able to destroy a 1,000-mile-long battleship with a punch, this kind of strength was too terrifying. He was at least in the 8th layer of the King God realm. He was not someone they could deal with. They knew that the people who came this time were too strong. "You want to leave? Kill them all. Don't leave a single one alive," Lu Ming said coldly. Before he came, he had already done his research. He knew that these interstellar pirates were scum. They would commit all kinds of crimes, and their methods were ruthless. They would often exterminate entire families. Every one of them was a vicious person. Their hands were stained with blood. They were all people who deserved to be killed. Lu Ming would not show mercy to these people. Myriad Dao Dragon Emperor. Chapter 33-35. Kill. The elites of the Nether Ape Battle Tribe charged forward. Of course, Yuan Tsong and the other Divine Lords did not attack as they did not need to. This group of interstellar pirates was considered a small group of pirates in the heavenly chaos starfield. The strongest of them was only in the 6th heaven of the Divine King realm. There was no need for the Divine Lords to attack. Any of the Nether Ape Battle Tribe members could easily take care of them. Kill. Some of the Nether Ape Battle Tribe members charged forward. This was a battle without any suspense. Soon, almost all of the interstellar pirates were killed. Lu Ming recorded everything with the Rest Shadow Stone. After that, the elites of the Nether Ape Battle Tribe searched the entire planet and killed all of the interstellar pirates. After that, they chose a better location and started to build a city. Building a city with their cultivation was like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. Soon, a huge city rose from the ground and appeared between the heavens and earth. After the city was built, Blue Merchant started to set up arrays around the city. There were all kinds of defensive and offensive arrays. In the future, this would be their base. Naturally, they had to set it up properly. After a few months, the city looked brand new. It was complete. Lu Ming and the others entered the city. After that, Blue Merchant started to set up the planet formation all over the planet. This was a huge project that could not be completed in a short period of time. Lu Ming started to think about the development of the city. Now that they had conquered a planet and had a foothold, they could officially establish the military residence. However, first, they had to report it to the Grand Council. Then, they could officially establish the residence and recruit elites to join them. After that, Lu Ming sent an elite of the Nether Ape Battle Tribe to report back to the Great Illusionary Saint Capital with the order to establish the residence. In less than a month, the Nether Ape Battle Tribe member returned. Everything was done. However, Lu Ming did not have any plans to recruit anyone for the time being. He would wait until things settled down. Lu Ming was thinking about how to accumulate more merits to raise the rank of the military residence. However, even if the soldiers' mansion started to recruit people, there wouldn't be many experts who would join them. Recruiting people with low cultivation wouldn't be of much use. Blue Merchant also suggested that they wait for a while before recruiting. This was because Blue Merchant planned to set up a large formation. This great formation was specially used to recruit people, and it could test one's heart. If there were any dishonest people or people with ulterior motives who entered the formation, they would be able to detect them. Lu Ming had many enemies. If he were to recruit people, there was no guarantee that his enemies would not send people to sneak in. Therefore, this kind of grand formation was extremely important. For the time being, Lu Ming planned to eliminate some interstellar pirates nearby to accumulate merits. Right now, the Heaven Chaos Starfield was in chaos. They were mainly divided into several camps. One of them was the interstellar pirates. There were many interstellar pirates of all sizes. The other one was from the Taishu dynasty. Lu Ming was not the only one who chose to establish a clan here. There were also students from the previous batch of the Sacred Academy of the Taishu dynasty. There were also some who had developed for a long time. The third force was the barbarian race. The barbarian race, the Taishu dynasty, and the interstellar pirates were attacking each other. It could be said that it was a mess. More importantly, the various clans of the Taishu dynasty were also in a competitive relationship. It was common for them to attack each other and kill each other. Lu Ming made a plan. Then, he left the Hidden Dragon Star with some Nether Ape fighting clan members and headed west. Not far from them, there was a group of strong interstellar pirates gathered. This group of interstellar pirates was much stronger than the group that Lu Ming and the others had eliminated. If they were eliminated, they would get a lot of merits. A few days later, Lu Ming and the others arrived near a galaxy. Looking from afar, there were many huge interstellar battleships flying and patrolling near this galaxy. The whole galaxy was like an iron bucket built by this group of interstellar pirates. Boom! Suddenly, there was a violent explosion in another direction. Lu Ming and the others were slightly stunned. They had not made a move yet. Why was there a movement in that direction? In the next moment, Lu Ming understood that there was an attack in that direction. Could it be people from other clans? Lu Ming thought. There were many clans of the Taishu dynasty in the Heavenly Chaos Galaxy. Naturally, there were also people who were targeting these interstellar pirates and wanted to eliminate them to gain merits. Someone is attacking. Suddenly, one of the interstellar pirates shouted. The news quickly spread to the core of the galaxy. In a few minutes, there were beams of light flying over from the core of the galaxy. They were all powerful interstellar pirates. They were all heading in that direction. Let's go in too. Lu Ming instructed the Nether Ape fighting clan members that he had brought along. They set off, spreading their bodies and dashing in this direction. This place is still. They had just reached the periphery of the galaxy when the patrolling pirates noticed them. Just as they were about to shout, a Nether Ape fighting clan member stepped out and threw a punch. This Nether Ape fighting clan member was a divine lord that Lu Ming had brought along. He was extremely powerful. His fist rapidly grew in size until it covered an area of the starry sky. A huge explosion occurred in the void. Rumble. The interstellar pirates in front of them, including the patrolling battleships, exploded and turned into dust. They did not even have time to spread the news. Let's go in. Lu Ming and the others rushed in and went straight to the core of the galaxy. In the core of the galaxy, there was a planet that was relatively close to the central star. Needless to say, this was the nest of the interstellar pirates. Lu Ming and the others rushed in and killed their way to the core of the galaxy. After rushing there, they did not stop at all. The Nether Ape fighting clan members killed their way down. Whenever they saw a pirate, they would not show any mercy and would attack mercilessly. As for Lu Ming, he held the breathing shadow stone high and recorded everything. Enemy attack. The elites on the planet had noticed Lu Ming and the others. Countless figures rushed out from various buildings. However, as soon as they rushed out, they were attacked by the Nether Ape fighting clan members and were killed mercilessly. You bastards of the Taishu dynasty, you are courting death. Suddenly, a furious roar was heard. A terrifying aura rushed out from the depths of the planet. A peak divine king. There is a peak divine king among this group of interstellar pirates. Lu Ming was slightly taken aback. This was somewhat beyond his expectations. In the next moment, a burly figure rushed out. It was a ferocious bear clan member. He was burly and held a battle axe in his hand. His eyes were cold. He was the leader of this group of interstellar pirates, a peak divine king. Die! The leader of the ferocious bear clan shouted and swung his battle axe. You are the one who will die. The divine lord Nether Ape fighting clan member attacked with a punch. Chapter 33-36. The divine lord Realm Dark Ape struck out with his fist, causing the void to explode. A terrifying fist pressure instantly enveloped the pirate leader. Divine Lord, the pirate leader screamed in fear, but in the next moment, his body exploded and turned into ashes. Facing a divine lord, even a divine king would be killed instantly. Run. When the pirates saw that the pirate leader had been killed in an instant, even though they were all fugitives, they were almost scared to death. They turned and ran. But how could they escape from the hands of the Dark Ape Battle Tribe? The Dark Ape Battle Tribe members charged forward. Every time they attacked, a large number of interstellar pirates were killed. Lu Ming recorded everything with the Repose Shadow Stone. The Repose Shadow Stone was specially made by the Grand Council. It was very magical and could even identify the level of cultivation. The Repose Shadow Stone could identify the level of cultivation of those who were recorded. This was also to make it easier to record credits. The stronger the enemy he killed, the more contribution he would receive. Soon, almost all the interstellar pirates on the planet were killed. Only a few cats and dogs were left. They fled in panic. Lu Ming and the rest did not bother to care about them. After collecting the storage rings of the interstellar pirates, they entered the nest of the interstellar pirates and found a large number of treasures. There were all kinds of forging materials, alchemy materials, and divine artifacts of various levels. Lu Ming took all of them without hesitation. These would be useful as the number of people increased in the future. After clearing out all the treasures and making sure there was nothing left, they left. In the direction of the galaxy, there was still a fierce battle going on. "Let's go take a look," Lu Ming said and flew in that direction with the Dark Ape Battle Tribe. When they got close to the battlefield, they found that the battle cries had weakened. The interstellar pirates were defeated. A large number of interstellar pirates were killed, and the remaining few fled in panic. Then, a group of people rushed over. When they saw Lu Ming, they rushed toward Lu Ming and the rest. There were tens of thousands of them. Lu Ming and the rest only had about 100 people. The difference in numbers was too big. "Interstellar pirates, kill them." The leader was a yellow-robed young man who looked to be in his 30s. His gaze was cold as he gave the order. Lu Ming was speechless. These people actually thought that they were interstellar pirates. Whoosh, whoosh. In the blink of an eye, at least several hundred attacks were launched towards Lu Ming's group. Roar. One of the Dark Ape Battle Tribe members shouted angrily and took out a huge shield in front of him, blocking all of the attacks. It was mainly because Lu Ming hadn't given the order to attack. Otherwise, the Dark Ape Battle Tribe wouldn't have just defended themselves. They would have counterattacked. "Wait a minute, you're from the Taishu dynasty, right?" "We're also from the Taishu dynasty." Lu Ming shouted loudly, his voice echoing throughout the entire arena. "Stop!" Hearing that Lu Ming and the others were from the Taishu dynasty, the young man waved his hand, and everyone stopped attacking. "Are you from the Taishu dynasty?" The young man stared at Lu Ming and the others. "That's right. We're from the Taishu dynasty soldier's mansion. This rest image stone can prove it," Lu Ming said. The young man looked at the rest image stone above Lu Ming's head twice. Obviously, he believed Lu Ming's words. "So you're from the other soldier's mansion. That means you've already breached the interstellar pirate's nest?" The yellow-robed young man asked. "That's right. The interstellar pirate's nest has been breached. We're here to support you," Lu Ming said. "Ha ha ha, support us? What a joke, with just the few of you." Beside the yellow-robed young man, a burly man laughed maniacally, full of contempt. The others laughed as well. "That's enough." The yellow-robed young man raised his hand, and everyone stopped laughing. "Since you've breached the interstellar pirate's nest, the treasures in the interstellar pirate's nest should be in your hands. Hand them over, and I'll let you leave safely," the yellow-robed young man said. Lu Ming was speechless. Why does this guy seem so confident? "We're the ones who breached the interstellar pirate's nest. The pirate's treasures are spoils of war. Why should we hand them over to you?" Lu Ming was speechless. "You breached it? How shameless. If I hadn't restrained the main force of the interstellar pirates, would you have had the chance to breach the interstellar pirate's nest? I'm already being lenient by not pursuing the matter of stealing my credit. You want to take the treasures of the interstellar pirates? You're dreaming. If you don't hand them over today, don't leave," the yellow-robed young man said coldly. Lu Ming was completely speechless and almost laughed out loud. This old man was really too confident. Lu Ming sized up the yellow-robed young man and realized that the strongest person beside him was only an eighth heaven divine king. The ones who fought with them were not the main force of the interstellar pirates. There was a peaked god king in the lair of the interstellar pirates. If Lu Ming had not rushed in and exterminated the peak god king of the interstellar pirates, the young man in the yellow robe would have suffered heavy losses even if he had not been completely annihilated. Lu Ming had saved them, but in the eyes of the yellow-robed young man, it was Lu Ming who had taken advantage of the situation. I don't have time to waste on you. Let's go. Lu Ming didn't want to waste any more time with the yellow-robed young man and turned to leave. You want to leave? If you don't hand over the treasures today, don't even think about leaving. Take them down. Kill anyone who resists. The yellow-robed young man shouted. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, the elites beside the yellow-robed young man unleashed their auras and attacked Lu Ming and the others. You must be tired of living. A few of the Nether Ape Combat Tribe members shouted angrily. Their eyes were filled with cold killing intent as they stepped forward. These Nether Ape Combat Tribe members were all 8th Heaven Divine Kings. As for the Divine Lords and Peak Divine Kings Nether Ape Combat Tribe members, they stood beside Lu Ming and didn't attack. They didn't even unleash their auras. In their eyes, the yellow-robed young man's group was weak even though they had the advantage in numbers. Stop. Palace Lord, please wait. An old man beside the yellow-robed young man shouted, stopping the others from attacking. The yellow-robed young man's face flashed coldly and he said, Why should we stop? Although they have a few 8th Heaven Divine Kings, we have more than enough people to kill them. Palace Lord, I feel that these people are not to be underestimated. There might be some elites among them. If we fight them, we will suffer heavy losses even if we win. The old man transmitted his voice to the yellow-robed young man. What should we do? Are we going to let them go just like that? The yellow-robed young man frowned. He still felt that they could deal with Lu Ming and the others. He didn't want to let Lu Ming and the others go so easily. Chapter 33-37. The yellow-robed young man didn't want to let Lu Ming and the others go. Although there were a few 8th-layer Divine King Realm cultivators among Lu Ming's group, he didn't expect them to be so powerful. However, there were more than 10,000 of them while Lu Ming's group only had a few hundred people. He was confident that he could kill Lu Ming and the others. Mansion Master, these people don't look familiar. They must be new here. Let's wait and find out where they are. Then, we'll kill them. At the same time, you can bring the Shimming Elders with you. The old man said, The Shimming Elders? The yellow-robed young man frowned. That's the only thing we can do now. Let's agree to their conditions and let them help us. With the Shimming Elders helping us, we can take revenge for what happened today. The old man suggested with a wise look on his face. The yellow-robed young man thought for a while and finally nodded. All right, we'll listen to you. Then, he looked at Lu Ming and said, Kid, I'll spare your life today. Let's go. Then, he turned around and left. More than 10,000 people followed the yellow-robed young man and disappeared into the starry sky in the blink of an eye. Spare my life. Lu Ming touched his nose and was speechless. They were the ones who saved their lives. Lu Ming guessed that the yellow-robed young man must be one of the geniuses from the previous batch of the Great Void Imperial Family Sacred Courtyard. Maybe he was from before. Lu Ming didn't want to think too much about it and returned to the Hidden Dragon Star with his men. Lu Ming was right. The yellow-robed young man was one of the geniuses from the Great Void Imperial Family Sacred Courtyard. He was ranked 18th during the last Great Void Imperial Family Sacred Courtyard. His name was Huang Dong, and he wasn't from a famous family. He came from a small force and was considered a commoner among the geniuses. Huang Dong was considered a peerless genius. However, he was ranked 18th and wasn't rewarded with a mansion opening token. However, he was a commoner and was determined to establish a mansion. He cultivated hard in the Great Void Imperial Family Sacred Courtyard and later joined the army. He made contributions and was rewarded with a mansion opening token. After a long time of hard work, even though he was still a soldier, he had accumulated a group of strong cultivators. However, the strongest cultivator under his command was only at the 8th Divine King layer. There was no one at the peak of the Divine King layer. As soon as Huang Dong returned, he sent people to inquire about Lu Ming's whereabouts. Not long after, they finally found out. So, you're on the Hidden Dragon Star. You're new here. Humph! How dare you steal my credit and my treasures? I'll let you know that the heavenly chaos star area is not that easy to survive in, Huang Dong said coldly before flying outside. Not long after, he came to a canyon and saw 3 old men. East Prefecture Lord Huang, what do you think of the conditions we proposed? The bald old man in the middle of the 3 old men smiled faintly. A cold light flashed in his eyes. These 3 old men were called the Xianming 3 Elders. They were rogue cultivators in the heavenly chaos star region. They were extremely powerful as they had all reached the peak divine king realm. Previously, Huang Dong had wanted to invite the Xianming 3 Elders to join him. However, the Xianming 3 Elders were peak divine kings. How could they join a soldier's mansion so easily? After many invitations, the Xianming 3 Elders finally came up with a condition. As long as Huang Dong agreed to it, they would join him. However, the condition was too difficult for Huang Dong. Hence, he had been hesitating and did not agree to it. However, Huang Dong had decided to agree to it now. He needed the Xianming 3 Elders' strength. With the Xianming 3 Elders' help, he could eliminate Lu Ming and expand his forces rapidly to eliminate more pirates. At that time, it would only be a matter of time before he upgraded his mansion to the general's mansion. Otherwise, with his current strength, he did not know how long it would take for him to upgrade his mansion to the general's mansion. All right, I agree to your conditions, Huang Dong said. Great, haha. Then, we'll be your men from now on. I hope we can have a pleasant cooperation in the future. The Xianming 3 Elders laughed. Huang Dong also smiled and said, I have something that I need the 3 of you to help me with. Help me eliminate a newcomer who has just arrived in the heavenly chaos star area to establish his mansion. A newcomer? No problem. The Xianmiao 3 Elders readily agreed. The next day, Huang Dong led a large number of experts and the Xianming 3 Elders to the Hidden Dragon Planet. Hidden Dragon Planet, Dragon Emperor City. It was the newly built city. This was the name that Lu Ming came up with himself. Back in the Divine Wilderness continent, Lu Ming had founded the Dragon League and built a city called Dragon Emperor City. The reason why he named it that way was to commemorate his youthful days. Dragon Emperor City was very deserted now because Lu Ming had only brought a few hundred Nether Ape fighting tribe members. Hence, most of the places in the vast city were uninhabited. Only a few important places were guarded by the Nether Ape fighting tribe members. Lu Ming was bored to death, so he sparred with Qiu Moon to hone his origin source secret technique. Suddenly, Lu Ming looked into the distance. Interesting, Lu Ming muttered. With his current eyesight, he could directly see what was happening in the starry sky. At this moment, he saw a group of people rushing towards the Hidden Dragon Planet. They then rushed into the atmosphere and rushed towards the Dragon Emperor City. This group of people was naturally Huang Dong and the others. Something is happening. Qiu Moon, let's go and take a look. Lu Ming said to Qiu Moon. The 2 of them flashed and headed towards the city gate. Around the city, figures constantly rushed out and came to Lu Ming's side. They were all experts of the Nether Ape fighting tribe. Soon, hundreds of experts of the Nether Ape fighting tribe gathered around Lu Ming. They came to the city gate. At this moment, Huang Dong had already appeared outside the Dragon Emperor City with his experts. Destroy this city. Huang Dong's eyes were cold as he gave the order. Bang bang. Immediately, over 1,000 figures stepped forward, causing the space to tremble. These were thousands of experts in iron armor from various races. They had one thing in common, which was that they were all holding a dazzling golden saber in their hands. This was the Golden Saber Guards that Huang Dong had formed, an elite group under him. Attack! Huang Dong ordered. Kill! Thousands of Golden Saber Guards shouted and attacked at the same time. Their golden sabers slashed towards the Dragon Emperor City. All of a sudden, thousands of saber lights slashed towards the Imperial Dragon City. Each saber light was hundreds of thousands of miles long, as if it was going to split the Dragon Emperor City in half. Courting death. Beside Lu Ming, some Nether Ape fighting tribe members shouted coldly and were about to attack. Don't attack first. Lu Ming waved his hand and stopped the experts of the Nether Ape fighting tribe. Around the Dragon Emperor City, there was a large array set up by Blue Merchant. After a period of time, the large array had been set up. According to Blue Merchant, it was enough to block the attack of a first-layer Divine Lord. These people were dreaming if they wanted to destroy the Dragon Emperor city. Besides, Lu Ming also wanted to see how powerful the Soldier's Mansion in the Heaven Chaos Star Zone was so that he could have a better idea. Chapter 33-38. Lu Ming did not let the experts of the Dark Ape Battle Tribe attack. He wanted to see how strong the Soldier's Mansion was. Finally, over 1,000 golden saber rays landed on the Dragon Emperor city. At this moment, runes appeared on the walls of the Imperial Dragon City. Countless runes intertwined and formed a large array. A transparent light shield covered the entire Imperial Dragon City. Boom, boom. Deafening explosions could be heard as the thousands of saber lights slashed onto the transparent light barrier. However, the light barrier only trembled slightly. As for the saber lights, they all shattered and disappeared. So, you've set up a large array. Huang Dong's face stiffened. He then snorted. Do you think you can stop me with a large array? All of you attack. Huang Dong waved his hand and more experts stepped out and came to the side of the city wall. This time, Huang Dong also brought more than 10,000 people. All of them were his elite subordinates. They were a gathering of experts. Now, he had sent out 5,000 people. Break! The 5,000 people shouted and attacked at the same time. Most of them were high-level heavenly gods. 10 to 20% of them were divine kings. Although the heavenly chaos starfield was also a starfield like the Qin Tian starfield, there was a world of difference in strength. The Heaven Chaos Starfield was bigger than the Qin Tian Starfield, and this was one aspect. The main reason was that the cultivation conditions in the Heavenly Chaos Starfield were much better than the Qin Tian Starfield. It was rich in resources and rich in resources. Cultivators could not do without resources. With rich resources, it was natural that more experts could be nurtured. In the Qin Tian Starfield, the strongest expert was in the 4th layer of the Divine King realm. However, in the Heavenly Chaos Starfield, there were many 4th layer of the Divine King realm. Just like Huangdong, the Soldier's Mansion had many Divine King realm experts. They could easily destroy the entire Chu Tian Starfield or Qin Tian Starfield. 5,000 people, 5,000 attacks, all landed on the large array outside the Imperial Dragon City. Violent booms broke out, stirring up monstrous waves. Boundless energy scattered in all directions. However, it was tranquil inside the Dragon Emperor city. There was no fluctuation at all. All of the attacks were blocked. Again. Continue. Someone shouted. The 5,000 experts continued to attack. After a short while, the Imperial Dragon City was still safe and sound. On the other hand, the 5,000 experts were panting. Damn it. All of you. Attack together. I don't believe that we can't break this array. Huang Dong roared. Even though they had not broken the Imperial Dragon City's array, he was more confident. He was certain that there were not many powerful figures around Lu Ming. Otherwise, why would Lu Ming stay in the city obediently and not dare to come out? If Lu Ming had a powerful cultivator by his side, he might have charged out directly. He thought that Lu Ming was afraid of them. That was why he hid in the city and relied on the array to resist, not daring to come out. As long as he could break this array, he would be able to destroy Lu Ming and his crew and obtain the treasures of the interstellar pirates, as well as Lu Ming's treasures. Boom, boom. Huang 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 Dong to Huang Dong. There were more than 20 experts in this group, and all of them were 7th Order God King Realm cultivators. 4 of them were in the 8th Heaven God King Realm, and 17 were in the 7th Heaven God King Realm. That was 80% of Huang Dong's subordinates. The moment these experts attacked, their momentum soared to the sky. The entire planet shook as their attacks rained down on the Imperial Dragon City. However, it was useless. When their attacks landed on the Imperial Dragon City's array, they could only cause it to shake slightly. They couldn't break it. They didn't believe it and continued to attack. However, the result was the same. After dozens of attacks, the Imperial Dragon City was safe and sound. Is this all you've got? You're too naive to think that you can kill me with this little bit of strength. What other trump cards do you have? Hurry up and use them. I don't have time to waste here with you. Lu Ming said indifferently. His disdainful voice spread far and wide. This brat. Huang Dong's face turned green when he heard Huang Dong's words. I'll have to trouble the three of you. Huang Dong cupped his fists at the three old men beside him. These three old men were the Shimming Elders. Leave it to us. The bald old man who was the leader of the three Shimming Elders said confidently. They flew out and appeared in the sky above the city. Boom! A terrifying aura erupted from their bodies. The terrifying low temperature caused the temperature between heaven and earth to plummet. Many of Huang Dong's subordinates shuddered and retreated quickly. They didn't dare to stay for fear of being frozen to death. Then, a giant sword appeared above the heads of the three Shimming Elders. These giant swords seemed to be made of ice as they exuded an even more terrifying chill. Each of the giant swords was millions of miles long. Peak Divine Kings, 3 Peak Divine Kings. The strength of the military mansion isn't bad. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Slash. The three Xuanmiao elders shouted at the same time and slashed down with their giant swords. Boom, boom, boom. The three giant swords slashed on the transparent light shield above the Imperial Dragon City, causing an earth-shattering explosion. The chill spread, but the transparent light shield only trembled a few times and didn't break. How is this possible? Even peak Divine Kings can't break it. This array is too powerful. Huang Dong's subordinates were shocked. Huang Dong's face darkened. As for the three Shimming Elders, their eyes turned solemn as they continued to attack. They used their trump cards and unleashed a barrage of attacks, but the formation remained unscathed. 3 Peak Divine Kings. Are these your trump cards? Do you have any stronger ones? Bring them out. Lu Ming continued. Humph, kid. Do you think you can be safe by hiding in a turtle shell? If you are so capable, you can hide in there forever. Huang Dong gritted his teeth. The more he looked at Lu Ming, the more he hated him. So, you really don't have any more trump cards? Now, it's my turn to strike, Lu Ming said. He then waved his hand and stepped into the void, flying out of the city. Autumn Moon and the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe followed behind him. In an instant, Lu Ming walked out of the array's range. Out. Huang Dong was taken aback. He didn't know why, but he suddenly had a bad feeling. He wasn't stupid. Lu Ming had seen the strength of his subordinates, but he still dared to walk out of the array. If he wasn't crazy, then he must have something to rely on. No matter how he looked at it, Lu Ming didn't look like someone who was crazy. You're out. Good, now die. One of the three Shimming Elders shouted coldly as he slammed his palm down. A giant ice palm pressed down on Lu Ming, trying to kill Lu Ming. How dare you? Beside Lu Ming, an expert from the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe shouted. He rushed up to the sky and punched out. Boom! The giant ice palm exploded. The expert from the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe didn't stop. He rushed towards his opponent and punched out. Chapter 33-39. A Peak Divine King. The elder of the three Xianming elders exclaimed as he unleashed his full strength. Xianming Qi filled the air and condensed into an ice goshawk that pounced towards the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe expert. However, the ice goshawk was shattered into pieces as the fist radiance swept across it. Bam! The elder of the three Xianming elders shuddered as he retreated. Although they were both peak Divine Kings, there was still a huge gap between their strengths. Clearly, the elder of the three Xianming elders was no match for the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe expert. Third brother. The other two elders of the three Xianming elders exclaimed as they stared at the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe expert coldly. How dare you injure our third brother? Die. Having said that, they were about to join forces and attack the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe expert. But in the next moment, their bodies stopped abruptly. Then, their bodies began to tremble, and their faces were filled with horror. That was because a row of 9 Dark Ape Fighting Tribe experts had appeared in front of them. At that moment, the 9 Dark Ape Fighting Tribe experts exuded a terrifying aura. They were all peak Divine Kings. 9 peak Divine Kings. The leader of the three Xianming elders, the bald elder, stuttered. His face was pale, and he was sweating profusely. The other two elders of the three Xianming elders were in a similar state. Who do you want to kill? One of the dark ape fighting tribe experts asked coldly. No, no, it's a misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding. We have nothing to do with that brat. The bald elder pointed at Huang Dong and said, We have nothing to do with him. He tricked us into coming here. It's all a misunderstanding. We'll leave now. We'll leave immediately. After the bald elder finished speaking, he signaled the other two elders of the three Xianming elders with his eyes and was about to leave. You think you can come and go as you please? What do you think this is? Kill them. Lu Ming said coldly. Kill. The dark ape fighting tribe expert shouted as he attacked decisively. Terrifying attacks rained down on the three Xianming elders. The three Xianming elders were shocked as they tried their best to defend themselves. They formed a few hundred layers of ice around their bodies in an attempt to block the attacks of the dark ape fighting tribe. However, the attacks of the three Xianming elders shattered all their defenses. Their bodies flew out horizontally, coughing out large mouthfuls of blood. They were seriously injured. Cracks appeared on their bodies, and they were almost crushed to pieces. Spare our lives, we surrender. We are willing to submit to you. We are willing to do anything for you. Spare our lives. Let us go. We will definitely be loyal to you. The three Xianming elders roared in fright, almost pissing their pants. They knew that if they didn't beg for mercy, only death would await them. Stop for a moment. At this time, Lu Ming spoke, and the Dark Ape Battle Tribe's experts stopped. Spare my life, young hero. No, sir. Spare my life. The Xianming three elders knew that Lu Ming was the leader. They repeatedly begged Lu Ming for mercy and almost knelt down. At that moment, Huang Dong was completely dumbfounded. He never would have thought that Lu Ming actually had so many powerhouses by his side. The moment they came out, it was 9 peak divine kings. The Xianming elders, whom he had spent a great deal of effort to invite over, couldn't even withstand a single blow from these experts. They were beaten to the point of begging for mercy and surrendering. Fear, incomparable fear, surged into his heart. Run. At that moment, there was only one word in Huang Dong's mind. Run away from this terrifying place. Let's go. Suddenly, Huang Dong roared, waking the people around him. He led his men and turned around, wishing that he could grow a few more wings. However, in front of them, a dark ape battle tribe member appeared out of nowhere and blocked their path. Let's attack together and defeat him. Huang Dong roared and unleashed all his strength. He wanted to join forces to defeat the dark ape battle tribe member and escape. However, in the next moment, the dark ape battle tribe member in front of them unleashed a terrifying aura. This aura was like the might of the heavens, like the universe, vast and boundless. It was as if an entire planet was pressing down on them. Over 10,000 experts were suppressed the moment they unleashed their aura. Many of them even spat out blood as their bodies trembled. Divine Lord. It's a Divine Lord. Beside Huang Dong, an 8th-layer Divine King Elder screamed hysterically. His voice was filled with fear. The others were the same. Their eyes were wide open and filled with fear. Divine Lord. There was a Divine Lord by Lu Ming's side. It didn't matter how many of them there were in front of a Divine Lord. The difference in strength was too great, and they would be slaughtered. Huang Dong's body began to tremble. His face was deathly pale, without a trace of blood. The Xianming elders were so scared that they almost peed their pants. Their bodies trembled even more violently. Previously, they thought that Lu Ming only had a few peak divine kings around him. They didn't expect that there would be a Divine Lord. They regretted it so much. If they had known this would happen, they wouldn't have followed Huang Dong. How unlucky! They wailed in their hearts. They could only hope that Lu Ming would let them go. Otherwise, they would be dead meat. Have you been allowed to leave? The Divine Lord asked coldly. Together with the Dark Ape Battle Tribe members' fangs, he looked extremely ferocious. Plop. Some of the more cowardly ones knelt in the air and begged, Spare our lives. Please spare our lives. We are willing to surrender to you. We are willing to be your slaves. Spare our lives. At least half of them begged. It's up to our mansion master whether to let you go or not. The Divine Lord Dark Ape Battle Tribe member said. Lu Ming had specifically instructed them not to call him Combat Ancestor outside. They were to call him Mansion Master. Then, they looked at Lu Ming and begged Lu Ming, "Do you really want to surrender to me?" Lu Ming looked at the Shimming Elders. Of course. We sincerely want to surrender to the Mansion Master and serve the Mansion Master. The leader of the Shimming Elders hurriedly said, "Good. In that case, swear on your life origin that you will serve me wholeheartedly and never betray me." Lu Ming said, "Swear on your life origin." The Shimming Elders' faces turned pale. Normally, when the Army Mansion, General Mansion, Marquis Mansion, and even the Heavenly King Mansion recruited experts, they wouldn't swear on their life origin. This was because swearing on one's life origin wasn't a joke. Once an oath was made, one would never betray it. Ordinary people wouldn't swear on their life origin. If the mansions recruited people with such a requirement, no one would join. For example, Huangdong's subordinates wouldn't swear on their life origin when they joined Huangdong. But now, Lu Ming wanted them to swear on their life origin. This made them feel awkward. "What? You don't want to?" Lu Ming's expression turned cold. He said coldly, "You have to be clear that I'm not the one begging you to join me and work for me. Instead, you're the one crying and begging to join me and work for me. Do you understand?" Chapter 3340. It would be strange if they understood. The Shimming Elders and many others roared in their hearts. If it weren't for the fact that their lives were in danger, who would be willing to submit to you and cry, "If you have the ability, let us go. If you don't kill us, who would be willing to submit to you?" Their hearts were filled with resentment, but they didn't dare to show it on their faces. "You don't want to swear, right? Fine, kill all of you." Lu Ming waved his hand casually. "Yes, I'm willing. We're willing." The Shimming Elders were almost scared to death and hurriedly shouted, "If they swore, then so be it. If they were killed, then there would be nothing left." Moreover, Lu Ming had many experts on his side. There were even Divine Lord experts. Following Lu Ming wouldn't be a waste. With so many experts on Lu Ming's side, it would be normal to upgrade to the general's residence in the future. Immediately, the Shimming Elders swore on their life source to be loyal to Lu Ming. After swearing, the Shimming Elders were considered Lu Ming's men. "What about you?" Lu Ming's sharp eyes swept over Huang Dong and the others, causing them to turn pale. "I'm willing to surrender. I'm also willing to surrender." Then, Huang Dong's subordinates shouted one by one, swearing on their life source to be loyal to Lu Ming. After all, there weren't many who were truly loyal to Lu Ming. In the end, 8,000 people surrendered to Lu Ming. Only 2,000 people remained by Huang Dong's side. "It seems like you don't intend to surrender. Then, I'll send you on your way," Lu Ming said coldly. "No, I'm not convinced." At this time, Huang Dong suddenly roared, staring at Lu Ming with bloodshot eyes. "You're just relying on your subordinates. If you have the ability, fight with me. Let's talk with our own strength. You want to fight with me?" Lu Ming curled his lips and revealed a mocking expression. "You have the face to say that? You were in the last batch to join the Great Void Imperial Academy, and I was in the last batch. You have cultivated for so many years more than me, and you have the face to say that you want to fight me?" Huang Dong clenched his teeth and said, "So what if I'm from the previous batch? According to age, I'm still part of the younger generation. If you can defeat me, I'll surrender. I'll lead all my men to serve you and never betray you. However, if I win, you must let me go. Hee, you still haven't given up. You want to use this method to seek a way out for yourself. However, this method is too low level." Lu Ming said indifferently. Huang Dong's heart sank. If Lu Ming did not agree to his request, then he really had no other choice. Either he died or he surrendered. But, at this time, Lu Ming's tone changed and he said, "If you want to fight, I don't care. I'll make you give up." After saying that, Lu Ming stepped forward. This time, even Huang Dong was stunned. He did not expect Lu Ming to agree to his request. "All right," Huang Dong quickly replied. He stepped forward and faced Lu Ming. In the autumn moon, the experts of the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe were calm. They knew how strong Lu Ming was. Huang Dong was asking for it. Boom! Huang Dong attacked, and a powerful aura burst out. peak 6th layer divine king realm. Moreover, his divine origin factor had awakened twice, so he was not weak. He turned into a flash of lightning and charged at Lu Ming. His palm was like a knife, aiming at Lu Ming's forehead. Lu Ming waved his hand, and his palm collided with Huang Dong's palm. Bang! With a loud explosion, Huang Dong's body was pushed back. He felt his palm go numb, and it almost cracked. How can he be so strong? Huang Dong's heart was in turmoil. With just one move, he felt that Lu Ming was unfathomable. Impossible. He is just a new student. No matter how strong he is, there is a limit. I don't believe that he is stronger than me. Huang Dong roared in his heart. He was ranked 18th in the previous batch of students. He was extremely talented and had great confidence in himself. He did not believe that he was weaker than a new student of the Taishu Imperial Academy. Yellow Heaven's Holy Qi. Huang Dong roared. A yellow aura shot up into the sky like a divine knife and charged at Lu Ming. This was Huang Dong's secret art of origin. A strand of holy qi could turn into thousands of weapons. It was extremely powerful and could kill enemies from hundreds of millions of miles away. Huang Dong used all his strength in this move. He was determined to kill Lu Ming, or at least injure Lu Ming. The yellow blade light was very fast. In a flash, it was close to Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming was still only fighting with one hand. Lu Ming reached out his hand and grabbed at the Yellow Heaven's Holy Qi. In an instant, Lu Ming activated the battle incantation and quadrupled his combat strength. The divine power in his body surged. Bam! Lu Ming's hand accurately grabbed the Yellow Heaven's Holy Qi. The Yellow Heaven's Holy Qi kept vibrating, but it could not break Lu Ming's hand. How is this possible? Huang Dong roared in disbelief. The Yellow Heaven's Holy Qi was his secret art of origin. It was extremely powerful. Even a high-level divine artifact would be destroyed, let alone a physical body. However, Lu Ming had caught it with his hand. This was unbelievable. What happened next made his heart tremble. With a bang, the Yellow Heaven's Holy Qi was crushed by Lu Ming. It turned into yellow light and disappeared. Is this all you've got? I really don't know where you get your confidence from. Lu Ming said indifferently. He took a step forward and pressed down with one hand. A huge palm was formed and pressed down on Huang Dong like a divine mountain. Huang Dong roared and tried his best to resist, but it was useless. Lu Ming had activated the battle incantation and quadrupled his combat strength. In addition to his boundless divine power and the heavenly demon golden body, he was too powerful. Even though his cultivation was one level lower than Huang Dong's, he was still able to crush him. Boom! Huang Dong felt like a mountain was pressing down on him. He lay on the ground and vomited blood. No matter how hard he struggled, it was useless. Third awakening of the origin divine power? How is this possible? Huang Dong roared in disbelief. After the previous exchange, he could feel that Lu Ming's origin divine power had awakened for the third time. Third awakening at the 5th level of the King God realm was too shocking. Huang Dong's subordinates also sucked in a breath of cold air, extremely shocked. In their eyes, Huang Dong was already a peerless genius. He was still young, but he had already reached the 6th level of the King God realm. His origin divine power had awakened for the second time, and he had even comprehended the origin secret technique. With such talent, it was certain that he would become a divine emperor in the future. He wouldn't be an ordinary divine emperor, but an expert in the upper class of the Taishu dynasty. However, such a genius couldn't even withstand a single blow from Lu Ming. He was as weak as a baby. So powerful. The three shimming elders were also shocked. They looked at each other and saw the surprise in each other's eyes. Yes, it was a surprise. Lu Ming's talent had exceeded their expectations. He was definitely a genius among geniuses. As long as such a genius didn't die, his future would be limitless. Following such a genius was not only harmless, but also beneficial. Previously, they were a little unwilling, but now, their reluctance had disappeared. Chapter 33:41. The Shimming Elders even rejoiced in their hearts. Many of Huang Dong's subordinates also rejoiced in their hearts. Perhaps surrendering to Lu Ming was a good choice. Lu Ming was obviously much stronger than Huang Dong. Moreover, he had many experts under him. Surrendering to Huang Dong was obviously better than surrendering to Lu Ming. Surrender or not? Lu Ming said indifferently as he stared at Huang Dong. Huang Dong was a talent. If he surrendered, he wouldn't mind accepting him. If he was stubborn, he wouldn't mind killing him. I surrender. I surrender. In the end, Huang Dong shouted that he was willing to surrender. Although he was a little unwilling, he was a commoner. It wasn't easy for him to fight to this point. He was unwilling to surrender just like that. However, things had already come to this point. He had no choice but to surrender. If he didn't, he would die. Swear, Lu Ming said coldly. Huang Dong was helpless. In the end, he swore on his life origin that he would be loyal to Lu Ming. After Huang Dong surrendered, some of his more loyal subordinates naturally followed suit. All right, move your people to my city, Lu Ming ordered. After that, Huang Dong returned and moved all of his powerhouses into Dragon Emperor City. As a result, Dragon Emperor City became boisterous as a result. It was not as desolate as before. After that, Lu Ming divided Huang Dong's subordinates into groups and assigned them to the experts of the Nether 8 Battle Clan to lead them to exterminate the interstellar pirates. As for Lu Ming, he stayed in Dragon Emperor City to cultivate. In the center of Dragon Emperor City, a huge primordial statue stood tall, emitting a mysterious aura. This statue was naturally Lu Ming's statue. It had absorbed a large amount of god essence and was incomparably mysterious. Blue Merchant had set up a formation around the primordial statue to block it. Otherwise, the fluctuations would have spread very far. Near the primordial statue, two figures were constantly fighting fiercely. It was Lu Ming and Wan Shun. The myriad gods had grasped countless origin secret techniques, and they also had the Gate of Gods. Sparring with Wan Kurin was the best option. It would allow Lu Ming to deepen his understanding of the Gate of Gods. Every origin source secret art was not something that could be fully grasped just by awakening it. It needed to be constantly comprehended and excavated. Only then could more potential be unearthed, and the power of the origin source secret art would grow stronger. He needed to constantly comprehend it, day after day. Moreover, Wan Kuin's strength was unfathomable. Lu Ming could completely let go and attack with all his strength. This was also very effective for his own tempering. Boom, boom. Both of them unleashed their gates of domination. The two enormous gates of domination crisscrossed in the air and collided with each other. It was like two planets colliding, causing a violent explosion. Wong. All of a sudden, the gate of the sovereign of the myriad gods trembled, and a pitch-black vortex appeared in the middle of it. Roar. A terrifying roar came from the vortex, like the roar of an ancient god. A terrifying wave of energy spread out from the vortex and bombarded Lu Ming's Gate of Gods. Lu Ming's Gate of Gods shook violently, and cracks appeared on it. Then, the entire Gate of Gods collapsed and exploded into dust. Danger, danger. Lu Ming felt a terrifying sense of danger from the Gate of Gods. His hair stood on end, and his body tensed up as he frantically retreated. Withdraw, the myriad gods whispered. With a wave of his hand, he withdrew the Gate of Gods. Only then did that sense of danger disappear. Lu Ming let out a long breath. Myriad gods, what was that? Lu Ming asked. I don't know either. I activated the Gate of Gods a little more, and that was it. The myriad gods scratched his head, a puzzled look on his face. How terrifying. Could it be that when the Gate of Gods is comprehended to a high level, such a change will occur? Lu Ming guessed. His current Gate of Gods was the kind that had just been awakened, and could only display some basic power. There was still a long way to go before it reached a high level. He speculated that when the Gate of Gods was comprehended to a high level, such a change would occur. Let me give it a try. At this time, Autumn Moon came up and sparred with the myriad gods. Now, Autumn Moon's cultivation had reached the 6th layer of the God King realm. The effects of the sacred heart of 9 orifices were terrifying, allowing Autumn Moon to maintain a rapid progress. Following that, Qiu Yu and the myriad god clan began fighting again. By now, Autumn Moon had comprehended 2 origin secret techniques. Using them together with the god-killing ray, her strength was astonishing. After exchanging a few hundred moves with the myriad gods, she walked to the side and closed her eyes to meditate. Then, it was Lu Ming's turn to spar with the myriad gods. Lu Ming and Autumn Moon's cultivation speed was very fast. A few years passed in the blink of an eye. In these few years, Lu Ming and the others had developed rapidly. The Dark Ape Battle Tribe led Huangdong's subordinates to conquer the world and exterminate many interstellar pirates. Furthermore, another soldier's residence was defeated by them and surrendered to Lu Ming. Lu Ming accumulated more and more merits, and the number of subordinates under him also increased. The territories under his control also increased. Now, Lu Ming controlled as many as 8 planets with life and 19 planets with resources. However, the merits he had accumulated were not enough to upgrade Lu Ming's residence. It would not be easy to upgrade it to a general's residence. Lu Ming's rapid expansion attracted the attention of the surrounding factions. The Wasteland Reclaimer General's residence was a powerful faction around Lu Ming. The Wasteland Reclaimer General's residence had been established for many years. The founder of the residence was many generations older than Lu Ming and could be considered a senior figure. During this period, the Wasteland Reclaimer General's residence had been discussing Lu Ming's matter. In the distant Taishu sacred capital, the Grand Preceptor's residence was also plotting. In the Grand Preceptor's residence's meeting hall, the Grand Preceptor sat on a high seat and looked down. Where did Lu Ming set up his residence? How's the investigation? The Grand Preceptor asked, his voice full of murderous intent. It's been investigated. Lu Ming chose to set up his residence on the Heavenly Chaos Planet and is now entrenched on the Hidden Dragon Planet. An old man with snow-white hair below him replied, the Hidden Dragon Planet of the Heavenly Chaos Planet. Very well, I want him to die without a burial place. The Grand Preceptor said coldly, Lord Grand Preceptor, we are being watched by many people now. We can't brazenly send people to kill Lu Ming. The white-haired old man bowed and said, I know that. The Grand Preceptor knocked on the table and said, as an important minister of the Taishu dynasty, the Grand Preceptor had great power. If he directly sent people to kill Lu Ming, it would cause panic in the other residences. After all, the Taishu dynasty was composed of 2 parts. One part was the core of the Taishu dynasty, and the other part was the various residences. If a core official of the Taishu Holy Dynasty could casually send someone to execute a clan residence, the other clans would definitely panic. They would be bitterly disappointed, and chaos would ensue. Unless that family mansion really committed a huge crime. Chapter 3342. After all, Lu Ming wasn't alone. He had already established his own faction. If Lu Ming didn't do anything wrong, the Grandmaster would send someone to kill Lu Ming, which would cause panic in the other factions. His enemies would definitely attack him. By then, even the Grandmaster would have to bear a lot of pressure. However, the Grandmaster had already calmed down. He wasn't as crazy as when he first learned that Wu Fan had been killed. Aren't there many clan mansions around Lu Ming? These clan mansions are competing with each other and want to annex each other. I reckon that many of them want to attack Lu Ming. As long as we send people to assist these clan mansions secretly and eliminate Lu Ming, no one will suspect that I'm the culprit. The Grand Master said with killing intent. You're wise, Grand Master. The white-haired elder and a few others below him started to flatter him. Very well. Send someone to the Heavenly Chaos Galaxy. Remember, they have to act secretly. I want to hear that Lu Ming has been killed. The Grand Master ordered. The Wasteland Reclaimer's mansion in the Heavenly Chaos Galaxy was discussing something again. The upper echelons of the Wasteland Reclaimer's mansion were gathered. The person sitting at the top was the Mansion Lord of the Wasteland Reclaimer's mansion. He was known as the Wasteland Reclaimer General. The Wasteland Reclaimer General was a burly middle-aged man. He used to be a prodigy of the Taishu Royal Academy a long time ago. After a long time of hard work, he finally upgraded to a general's mansion. He controlled a territory and had many talents. General, the Hidden Dragon Hall is developing too quickly. They've already eliminated 7 interstellar pirates and destroyed 2 barracks. Their territory is close to ours. We have to be on guard. An important figure in the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion suggested. The Hidden Dragon Mansion was what they called Lu Ming and the others. That's right. The Hidden Dragon Mansion is very ambitious. They've been expanding rapidly since they were established. They have many experts under them. I heard that they have more than a dozen peak Divine Kings. They'll compete with us for resources sooner or later. Another person said. Everyone looked at the Wasteland Reclaimer General, waiting for his answer. Yes, we have to be careful. I've heard that the Hidden Dragon Mansion Master is a peerless genius from the Great Void Imperial family's holy courtyard. He's ranked 3rd among the new batch of students. He has a group of experts from the Dark Ape Battle Tribe as his subordinates. Their strength is indeed shocking. We have to get rid of them first. How about this? Pass down my orders. We'll set out in 3 days and destroy the Hidden Dragon Hall. The Wasteland Reclaimer General ordered. At this moment, a burly man who looked like a guard walked in and bowed. Reporting to the general, there is someone outside who wishes to see you. Who is it? Asked the Wasteland Reclaimer General. I don't know. The other party didn't say anything. They only said that they could help the general get rid of his biggest problem. The guard replied, Solve the problem in your heart? Haha. The Wasteland Reclaimer General sneered and said, Let them in. I want to see who they are. Yes. The guard cupped his fists and left. Not long after, the guard brought in 3 black-robed men. What do you mean when you say that you're going to help me solve the problem in my heart? The Wasteland Reclaimer General stared at the 3 black-robed men as a powerful aura emanated from his body. However, the 3 black-robed men didn't move at all. The one in the middle said, The general must be thinking of eliminating Lu Ming, who is also the Hidden Dragon Hall. We can help the general to eliminate the Hidden Dragon Hall. Ha ha ha, so you're here for the Hidden Dragon Hall. What a joke. How can a mere Hidden Dragon Hall be my biggest problem? I can destroy it with a flip of my hand. The Wasteland Reclaimer General laughed. His voice was filled with disdain. So what if Lu Ming had many peak Divine Kings under his command? Could a peak Divine King be compared to a Divine Lord? As for the Wasteland Reclaimer General, he had already reached the Divine Lord realm. Moreover, he wasn't the only Divine Lord in the Wasteland Reclaimer General's residence. There was another Divine Lord realm expert. 2 Divine Lord realm experts could eliminate a mere Lu Ming with a flip of their hand. The general better not underestimate Lu Ming. If you do, you'll suffer a great loss. The black-robed man in the middle said, You're saying that I can't deal with Lu Ming and need your help to deal with Lu Ming? The Wasteland Reclaimer General said coldly, You can say that. The black-robed man in the middle said, How arrogant. I'd like to see what you're capable of. The Wasteland Reclaimer General said coldly. After saying that, he gave a signal to his subordinates. Immediately, a burly man stepped forward. Let me try and see if you're capable or not. The burly man shouted coldly and unleashed a powerful aura. The burly man was also a peak Divine King. He used all his strength to unleash a move that enveloped the 3 black-robed men. Get lost. One of the black-robed men at the side shouted coldly. With a wave of his sleeve, a terrifying force burst out. The burly man at the peak Divine King groaned, as though he had been hit by a divine mountain. His body flew backward and fell heavily on the ground as he vomited blood. A peak Divine King was defeated in a single move. Divine Lord. The Wasteland Reclaimer General squinted his eyes. How is it? The black-robed man in the middle asked. There are strong and weak Divine Lords as well. Let me try. The Wasteland Reclaimer General said. As he spoke, the Wasteland Reclaimer General rushed forward and threw out a palm attack. Boom. The entire hall shook. A terrifying aura blasted toward the black-robed man in the middle like a mountain. The black-robed man in the middle stretched out a withered palm and met the Wasteland Reclaimer General's palm attack. Bam! Both of their palms collided and a terrifying shockwave erupted. Fortunately, both of their palms were restrained. Otherwise, the terrifying shockwave would have turned the hall into dust. Then, a figure retreated quickly. It was the Wasteland Reclaimer General. His tall and sturdy body retreated even faster than the speed at which he had pounced out and landed on his chair. One of his hands was behind his back, and it was trembling constantly. Green veins were bulging on it, and blood was seeping out. His eyes were filled with seriousness. "How is it?" The black-robed man in the middle asked again. "Impressive. All right, let's work together then." "Ha." The wasteland reclaimer general laughed. He speculated that these people must have extraordinary backgrounds. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so strong. "But I'm really curious. Is Lu Ming worth all of you making such a big fuss about?" The wasteland reclaimer general asked. "Don't underestimate Lu Ming. Otherwise, you'll die a horrible death." The black-robed man in the middle said. "Oh, when shall we make our move?" The wasteland reclaimer general asked. "Sooner rather than later. Make your move immediately. Also, you'd better not send too many people. Just send one person to lead the way to avoid attracting the attention of the other party." The black-robed man in the middle said. "All right, I still have a Divine Lord expert under me. I'll send him to join forces with you." The wasteland reclaimer general said. Soon after, 4 figures left the wasteland reclaimer general's mansion silently and disappeared into the starry sky. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.